everybody! Today we're going to work with past perfect. So, let's start by analyzing its form. For the affirmative form, we'll start by the subject, then the auxiliary had for all the subjects, so don't worry which the subject is. You will always use had for all of them. And then the verb in the third column, or past participle, as in she or they had gone out. For the negative, there's a very similar structure. We start by the subject, then the auxiliary, but this time negative, and then the verb in the third column, or past participle. For the auxiliary, we have two possibilities. The auxiliary, and then not in a separate way, or as a contraction, hadn't. The meaning is the same, but the only difference is that contractions are rather informal. An example could be, he or we have cleaned the entire house. And for its last form, interrogative, we are going to start by the auxiliary, then the subject, and then the verb in the third column, or past participle. Never forget the question mark. An example could be, had I or you been to London? Let's analyze now its uses. This example. He had finished cooking dinner by the time we got home. By this, we want to say that by the time we got home, by this time in the past, there was an action that was already finished. Cooking. So the first use is to talk about completed actions before a moment in the past. So, if this is a timeline, the action finish cooking dinner happened first, and then the action get home happened. Let's analyze another example now. They had lived in France for several years before they started learning French. So you can describe a state or situation that took place before a past point. So you can also build sentences using state verbs as live. Remember the difference between state and movement or action verbs. Movement or action verbs require, as their name indicates, movement. Live is a state verb because it doesn't require any movement. It is a state. The same as like or have. They don't require movement to happen. So, second use, to talk about situations and states before a past point or past action. Let's analyze another sentence now. We didn't tell him the truth because he just had another piece of bad news. Notice how the auxiliary had is contracted here. It is contracted to the subject. The verb in the third column is the verb have, so don't confuse the auxiliary with the verb in the third column. In this case, we have the word just between the auxiliary and the verb in the third column. It is used to imply that this action has just happened. It didn't happen long ago. It happened just now. In this situation with the past perfect, it indicates that the action had just happened by this moment. So, in this example, this person had just received a piece of bad news, so they decided not to tell him the truth. So, the third use is to talk about completed actions where the important thing is the result at a moment in the past. So, analyzing this last example, the important thing was the result at this moment in the past. The result is that they didn't tell him the truth. Why didn't they tell him? Because of these other actions that had happened before. Finally, past perfect is also used together with phrases like it was the first, second, third time. As for example, it was the third time he had seen the man in the gray hat outside his house. Well, I really hope this is